यन्मायावशवर्ति विश्वमखिलं ब्रह्मादिदेवासुरा यत्सत्त्वादमृषैव भाति सकलं रज्जौ यथा हेर्भ्रमः यत्पादप्लवमेकमेव हि भवां बोधे स्थितिर्षावतां वन्देऽहं तमशेषकारणपरं रामाख्यमीशं हरिम्। Hari Om, everyone. We have been seeing Bhagwan Shiva and Sati Ji's prasanga, and we saw last time that Sati Ji has realized what mistake she did, and also she has understood what decision Lord Shiva has taken. But as we saw last time, this is all Leela of the Divine Mother. So Sati Ji is Jagat Janani. So for all of us to take away certain things, take away certain pointers in our life, in our sadhana, this Leela is being done. It is said humans in general are very inquisitive creatures. We always want to find reason for something. We want to find answers to questions. And our intellect works in that way. It keeps asking questions. Today, if it started raining, immediately a question comes. Yesterday it was not raining. Today it started raining. Why? So like this, different sciences develop. Different fields of knowledge develop with this inquisitive nature of humans to find an answer to different questions that keep coming to this intellect. Our rishis were no different. They also were of very inquisitive mind, very astute in their thinking, and very sharp and directed in their thoughts. But the field of questioning was slightly different. Some rishis, they sought answers to phenomenon which is experienced in this world, and they got those answers also. But there were some rishis who inquired about life. And when they asked those questions, the answers to those questions is called as darshana. So different rishis thought in different ways, and they sought answers for different questions. And whatever answers they got, that they compiled. That is called as darshana. Darshana simply means, what is my understanding about life? And in that, I have to account for everything. I cannot just become a philosopher without answering all those questions. So like this, in Indian school of thought, we have many darshanas, like Sankhya Darshana is one, Yoga Darshana. What we are concerned with is Vedanta Darshana, but all darshanas are there. And the method of inquiry is the same. Okay, they ask different questions. One of the fundamental question that all these rishis asked was, why do I have certain situations in my life? Just like if rain is falling today, there has to be some cause because of which there is rain today. That could be one way of inquiring, one field of inquiring. The question our rishis asked was, if I have a particular situation today, what is the reason because of which this situation or circumstance has come? And they sought support from Upanishads. Whenever they did inquiry, they never did independent inquiry. They always sought support from Upanishads, and then they developed their knowledge. So the answer that all rishis, whoever, whichever darshana it is, they have arrived at, is that our own karmas are responsible for the situations in our life. And Tulsi Ramayanam, it is said, Chaho Shastra Sab Darasana Ko Sab Granthana Ko Sammata. In Aarti that we chant right towards the end of Tulsi Ramayanam, it is said Chaho Shastra, means this Ramcharitmanas is as though as a summary of all these 6 schools of thoughts. Summary in the sense, ideas from different school of thoughts have been gathered. Whatever is beneficial for us, that is presented over here. So this Chaupai, after 58th Doha, that second Chaupai, that is this Darshana. So phalu muhi vidhata dinha jo kachu uchita raha soi kinha. Who says this? Satiji says, Lord Shiva is in Samadhi and she is just thinking to herself now, whatever things have happened, the decision that Lord Shiva has taken and everything. But you see her vision of thinking, okay? This is called as Darshana. She says, whatever Bhagwan has given me, that is the right thing for me at this point. Let me see how best I can, what best I can make of this situation which is presented to me. So for us also, we get presented so many situations day in and day out. Acceptance of this fact that it has come because of some reason. Okay, good situations and not so good situations. And taking Bhagwan's support to go through both of them. That if it happens, then we have entered into Darshanic way of thinking. Darshanic means what? Our Rishi Parampara. How they think, we are aligning or trying to align our thought with what they are thinking. So Satiji, through all this Leela, is teaching us this, because we don't have to worry too much about Satiji as an individual, because she is Jagat Janani. But what point we should appreciate is her way of thinking. So phalu mohi vidata dinha jo kachu uchita raha soi kinha. There is no mistake that happens in Bhagwan's system. And in my life in particular, whatever Bhagwan has given me, that is the best thing right now. Let me see what he is trying to teach me over here. So now Satiji is in this way reflecting over different things. And then finally she says to Brahmaji that, this Deha, which is there, that was the main problem. Okay, so I want to let go of this, and then I want to be born again as that sole single-pointed devotee of Bhagavan. After 59th Doha, we will chant. एहि विधि दुखित प्रजेश कुमारी अकथनीय दारुण दुख भारी बीते संवत सहस सतासी तजे समाधि संभु अविनाशी राम नाम शिव सुमिरन लागे जाने सती जगतपति जागे जाई शंभु पद बंदनु कीन्हा सनमुख शंकर आसनु दीन्हा लगे कहन हरि कथा रसाला दक्ष प्रजेश भये तेहि काला देखा विधि विचारी सबलायक दक्ष कीन्ह प्रजापति नायक बड़ अधिकार दक्ष जब पावा, अति अभिमानु हृदय तब आवा। नहीं को अस जनमा जग माही, प्रभुता पाई जाहि मद नाही। दक्ष लिए मुनि बोली सब, करन लगे बड़ जाग। नेवते सादर सकल सुर, जे पावत मख भाग। किन्नर नाग सिद्ध गंधर्वा, बदुन समेत चले सुर सरबा। विष्णु बिरंचि महेशु बिहाई, चले सकल सुर जान बनाई। सती बिलोके व्योम विमाना, जात चले सुंदर विधि नाना। सुर सुंदरी करहि कल गाना, सुनत श्रवण छूटहि मुनि ध्याना। पूछेहु तब शिव कहेहु बखानी, पिता यज्ञ सुनि कछु हर्षानि। जो महेशु मोहि आयसु देहि, कछु दिन जाई रहौं मिस एहि। पति परित्याग हृदय दुख भारी, कहि न निज अपराध बिचारी। बोली सती मनोहर बानी, भय संकोच प्रेम रस सानी। पिता भवन उत्सव परम, जो प्रभु आयसु होई। तो मैं जाऊं कृपायतन, सादर देखन सोई। कहेहु नीक मोरेहु मन भावा, यह अनुचित नहीं नेवत पठावा। दक्ष सकल निज सुता बोलाई, हमरे बयर तुम्हऊ बिसराई। ब्रह्म सभा हम सन दुख माना, तेहि न अजहु करहि अपमाना। जो बिनु बोले जाहु भवानी, रहहि न सीलु सनेहु न कानी। यद्यपि मित्र प्रभु पितु गुर गेहा, जाइय बिनु बोलेहु न संदेहा। तदपि विरोध मान जह कोई, तहाँ गए कल्याणु न होई। भांति अनेक शंभु समुझावा, भावी बसन ज्ञान उर आवा। कह प्रभु जाहु जो भी नहीं बोलाए, नहीं भली बात हमारे भाई। कही देखा हर जतन बहु, रहहि न दक्ष कुमारी। दिए मुख्य गण संगत विदा कीन्ह त्रिपुरारी। सियावर रामचंद्र की जय। पवन सुत हनुमान की जय। उमापति महादेव की जय। बोलो भाई सब संतन की जय। श्री सद्गुरुनाथ महाराज की जय। So now Satiji is thinking by herself and Lord Shiva is in Samadhi. Ihi bidhi dukhita prajesa kumari akataniya daruna dukhu bhari. Satiji's condition is indescribable, Goswamiji says. In her heart, she has realized what has happened and everything, but she doesn't know now what is the right thing to do. Bite sambata sahasa satasi taji samadhi sambhu abhinasi. So our Lord Shiva is wonderful. His samadhi is not for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, half an hour. He said 87,000 years. That was the length of Lord Shiva's samadhi. It could be long for us in Manushya Kala, but for Bhagwan, that time could be very, very short. But the main point is, Lord Shiva's samadhi is like that. If we have to sit for meditation, we have to do tyaga of the world, right? Again and again, we have to let go of things, and then somehow or the other, half an hour we can sit. Lord Shiva also has to do tyaga, not to go into samadhi, but to come out of samadhi. You see what Goswamiji said? Taji samadhi means he has to do tyaga of samadhi so that he can come out. Taji samadhi sambhu abhinasi. So Lord Shiva is the embodiment of nididhyasanam. One whose mind is so much absorbed in this truth that for him to come out of that state, he has to put forth effort. And it is said that thing with which you go into samadhi, it is the same thing with which you come out. Now you see what Lord Shiva says. Rama nama Shiva sumirana lage. Moment he comes out of samadhi, first thing is Bhagwan's name. Rama nama Shiva sumirana lage. Janiu sati jagatapati jage. Lord Shiva understood that Satiji needs my guidance right now. That is why he came out of samadhi. Jai Sambhu Pada Bandanu Kinha Sanamukha Sankara Asanu Dinha. When Satiji did her pranams, Lord Shiva has not forgotten his main vow. All his sambandha, his talking, everything is same as before. But now, instead of making her sit next to him, he says, gives an asan in front. Because she is mother now. She is not Satiji, she has become Sitaji. And later when she becomes Parvatiji, then he says, sit next to me. Lage kahana hari katha rasala dacha prajesa bhaye tehi kala. As we saw last time, Lord Shiva has only two modes, like a switch. One mode is Samadhi mode, another mode is Ramakatha. Ramakatha means what? Satsang. Over here, it is just said Hari Katha. Because Ramakatha again he will tell when she becomes Parvatiji. Now he is only doing general satsang. But that is another quality of a sadhaka, that their mind should not get pulled too much towards other things. And satsang did not always mean Vedantic topic. That of course is one satsang. Right? That should be there. But any conversation should be devoid of all other small talks. What we saw in Sadhana Panchakam as Natu Vrutha Vakyam Samucharyatam. If it is not beneficial to somebody, not helpful, not true, don't say such things. You say that itself is one kind of tapas. Whatever we say, keeping those constraints will become satsang. At the same time, when Lord Shiva was giving this Ramakatha and this Harikatha to Satiji so that her mind becomes quieter from whatever is happening in her mind right now, scene shifts to Daksha Prajapati, the father of Satiji. Daksha Prajesa Bhaye Tehi Kala. Daksha became Prajapati. If you want to understand the hierarchy, he got promoted. In Devatas also there are different ranks. He got promoted to one position which reports directly to Brahmaji. Okay, Prajapati means, you can say, executive director of this creation. Okay, everything, he is the main person. Reporting right below Brahmaji. देखा विधि विचारि सब लायक दच्छी दच्छहि कीन्ह प्रजापति नायक. Brahmaji only has appointed this Daksha as Prajapati because he was very capable. He was very, very efficient, very sharp in thinking. Everything was good, and he was very capable for that position. That is why Brahmaji had only appointed him. बड़ अधिकार दक्ष जब पावा अति अभिमानु हृदय तब आवा. Now this is a very beautiful chaupai. Goswamiji is teaching many things while he is telling this katha that we should catch. He says the Daksha Prajapati, when he became that Prajapati, that position, that seat, what he got, that gave lot of abhimana. And the same abhimana, you can say, before when this news was announced, right? When Daksha said he will become Prajapati. At that time also he had arranged one yajna. Okay, when that news was announced, their way of celebrating was to arrange lot of yajna and rituals. So he did that. But before he came to that yajna, everybody was gathered, everybody was seated. And when he came, everybody got up. But only two people did not get up. One was Brahmaji, because he only is, actually Daksha Prajapati's father only is Brahmaji. So he did not get up. And Lord Shiva was there. Lord Shiva did not get up. And this Daksha, he sees Lord Shiva seated and he feels very insulted. He feels, look at Lord Shiva. One is he doesn't know how to dress. He doesn't know any etiquettes. Nothing he knows. And he is not maintaining that dignity so that, my position, whatever is there, it gets appropriate respect. And lot of logic he gives and, why this is not right and so on. Since that point, he's harboring some kind of grudge against Bhagwan Shiva. But because Bhagwan is Karuna Sindhu, he does not see anything. Bhagwan is just, and later on he says, I did not get up because I didn't even see him. Because my samadhi is so deep that nothing can bring me out of my samadhi. And when this Daksha came, Jivas keep coming and going. Why should Bhagwan get up when a Jiva comes? So Daksha came and he went. Bhagwan says, that is why I did not get up. You see how this insult works. So many people were there. Everybody got up. But one person did not get up. And Daksha feels insulted because of that one person. In general also, it is the same. In our life also, if you see, simple example is whenever, let us say, somebody is asking for feedback. Okay, you give a form and there are 150 people, they're filling out feedback. Everybody might say something and there might be one or two people who would criticize or insult or something. He says that will hurt the most. This is how human psychology works. And in particular, if there is more abhimana, like in Daksha's case, he has that abhimana that I am so great and I am so efficient in my work, and Lord Shiva is always in meditation. I don't see him do any work. So if you want to see in a darshanik point, right? Darshanik means little bit deeper way. There are two margas, right? In Bhagavad Gita it is said, one is called as pravrutti marga, another is called as nivrutti marga. Pravrutti marga, the purpose is to engage in action, to do it very efficiently, but purpose is never to get any abhimana over there. If Abhimana comes, then that Karma Yoga you call or Pravritti Marga has done more harm than any good. And Nivritti Marga, on the other hand, is a mature transition of a sadhaka who has done this Karma Yoga, has developed purity of mind. That sadhaka will be able to meditate and listen, do Shravanam, think upon scriptural teachings. And that is what the epitome of that is our Lord Shiva. So this conflict between Daksha and Lord Shiva in the previous yajna is also that conflict that would come between Pravritti Marga and Nivritti Marga. Means one has to be careful that whenever we do Karma Yoga, there should be no Abhimana of any kind. Because success will come, prosperity will come. Because that is the glory of Karma Yoga, one who can do that kind of efficient actions. But it won't be called as Karma Yoga unless there is devotion to Bhagwan involved there. Right? So actually you can say we should be careful that in the name of Karma Yoga, we should not end up doing only karma. So karma devoid of devotion to Bhagwan is one stage. That same karma, nobody is saying we should not be efficient, we should not be putting forth effort. All of that will remain the same. But end result of that should be humility and devotion to Bhagwan. Who is that Lord who has given me these things? Who is that Bhagwan who is allowing me to work in this way? If that happens, then that pravritti is successful. But in Daksha's case, Bada Adhikara Daksha Jaba Pava Ati Abhimanu Hridaya Taba Ava. Lot of Abhimana he got. Now also, that same Abhimana he is carrying forth. Nahi ko asa janama jagamahi prabhuta pahi jahi jaga jahi mada nahi. This is another chaupai. If you want to underline, mark, you can mark and reflect on it more. He says, there is nobody born in this creation who, after having gained some power and some position, has not become arrogant. Nahi ko asa jana ma jagamahi. There is nobody who is born in such a way. Prabhuta pai jai mada nahi. Prabhuta can be in any form. Huh? In today's context, it would be number of followers on Facebook and Twitter and other places. That is one form of prabhuta. This is whenever somebody gets some prabhuta, that person will also get this arrogance. So we should think, what is Goswami trying to tell us over here? When does a person become arrogant? And especially after getting adhikara. One reason is, if that person forgets that where is the main source of this power coming from. Expression of that power could be in some place, one entity, but all powers, source of it is Bhagwan only. You can just trace it back and back and back. If Bhagwan shakes little bit in this entire creation, if he just sneezes, a little bit, nature can create havoc. Okay, none of our prabhuta works in that case. That is one way to look at it. Okay, the final prabhuta which is there is in Bhagwan's hand only. If a small portion of it is seen, which is the prabhuta that this person has gained, they should not forget where it has all come from. Second reason why somebody could have arrogance about a position is, if we forget that all prabhuta is anitya. No matter which position it is, it has come in certain time and it will go away at certain time. And during that duration, there could be a lot of power. Prabhuta might be there. But if this anityatva, impermanence of this prabhuta is always shining in this person's heart, then it won't lead to too much of arrogance. There are so many people who share this, that when they were in power, when they were some very high official or anything, their one signature meant so many things, not only to a small organization, but could be to entire nation. Just one small signature. But that prabhuta, once it is gone, no matter which pen you sign it, no matter how nicely you sign it, nothing works. So while it is there, why unnecessarily have this kind of abhimana? He says, always keep this anityatva, impermanence, shining in our heart. That should save us from getting any kind of abhimana. And sometimes what happens is that position becomes our sole identity, whatever that position is. That prabhuta, once it is gained, that becomes our sole identity. And anybody challenging it or questioning it gives lot of abhimana. That is what is happening with Daksha. He feels his whole identity is Prajapati. If anybody does something to that position, then he says it is apamana of me. Now, what is the view of a Vedanta sadhaka? Vedanta wants to tell us you are Brahma. You are that consciousness which has no conditioning. So why are you holding on to something which is so remote? First of all, it is impermanent. Second, it is contrary to the truth. Means you are that all-pervading consciousness. Why are you holding on to this body first and then related to this body some kind of position outside? There was one Mahatma Ji who used to say, don't fall in love with tar pratyaya. The tar pratyaya, what does it mean? Pratyaya means a suffix. He says wherever that tar comes, right, that is this abhimana. He says minister. Okay, that tar comes in the end. Director, collector. This is that tar which comes, right? Be very careful of that. Don't fall in love with tar pratyaya, because it has come, it will go away. If those things a person is alert about, then they can be saved from this abhimana. What is an example of this? Should come here in your mind by now. Bharatji. Bharatji also got prabhuta. He became king of Ayodhya, but that did not give him this abhimana. The only abhimana that we can ask for is that of devotee of Bhagavan. With that as our abhimana, he says you handle everything else as that seeker. Then our decisions, our interaction with people, and all other things will always be in the right way. Okay, so all these points are something that we should think about. One, what we saw was about pravrutti and nivrutti. Okay, so Daksha represents pravrutti done in a wrong way. No matter he became very efficient, but he thought, if I am so efficient, why do I need Bhagwan? He should stand up when this jiva comes. Sometimes it is laughable, if you just see his mindset. And then on the other hand, Lord Shiva is nivrutti. Adi nivrutti, paramakashta, the epitome of nivrutti. I recently learned that word is pronounced as epitome. Okay, so apologies for erroneous pronunciation. So epitome of our nivrutti marga is Lord Shiva. So pravrutti one should do, but with lot of shraddha and faith, so that it leads us to Bhagwan and it helps us understand subtler things of life. That position is okay, it will come and go. Have we thought about a time, or have we thought about an identity devoid of that position? Okay, all these points. दच्छलिए मुनि बोली सब करन लगे बड़ जाग. Now Daksha, after having been appointed as that Prajapati, previously it was only the news. Okay, when this everything had happened, Lord Shiva was there and he got angry, and that Sabha did not go well because Nandiji, who was along with Lord Shiva, he could not bear this insult. So he started giving sharper back, and like this, lot of things happened. Lord Shiva quietly went away, did not say anything. Since that point, Daksha is having this thought in his mind, and now what he is doing is he wants to do a yajna again, but not for any other sake, but just to insult Lord Shiva. That is why he is calling everybody except Lord Shiva and Parvati ji. दच्छलिए मुनि बोली सब करन लगे बड़ जाग नेवते सादर सकल सुर जे पावत मख भाग. He has called all devatas who are fit or who are meant to receive some kind of offerings in those yajnas. Means it is not done with right kind of bhava. What in 17th chapter Bhagwan calls as Rajasik Yajna. If you see it in a different way, you can call it Tamasik also. If Bhagwan is not invited, why even call it Rajasik? You can call it as Tamasa Yajna, just for that thing that he has in his heart towards Lord Shiva. That is why he is doing this. Now these devatas are also wonderful. Whenever they hear this, there is another cosmic plan which they also have to enact. So all these devatas start going towards Daksha's yajna. Kinnara naga siddha gandharva baduna sameta chale sura sarva. Not only devatas, along with their consorts, all of them, they are all naga, kinnara. It is said kinnara means descendants of Hayagriva Bhagwan. Okay, so that Devata Gana is called as Kinnara. So all of them are going now. They're getting ready to go to Daksha's Yajna. Vishnu Biranchi Mahesu Bihai. Only 3 people decided not to go. Lord Vishnu, he said, if Bhagwan is not invited, then it is not a good kind of Yajna. I don't want to go there. Brahmaji said, even I don't want to go. Lord Shiva, of course, he had no interest in going. All these devatas, you see how they're going. Chale sakala sura jana banai. All of them are going. Maybe they might have had some customized vehicles. Just how we have, right? Customized cars. Jana banai means they made their yana, the aerial chariots that they use. Sati biloke vyoma bimana jata chale sundara vidhi nana. They might also have some air traffic control, how this flight should go from where. They could have taken any route, but purposely all of them are flying over Kailasa, where Satiji is sitting and Lord Shiva is seated. And they could have quietly gone, no. Surasundari karahi kala gana, sunata shravana chhutahi muni dhyana. All of them are singing, dancing, so that you should not miss, any of these chariots which are going on the top. And what was the kind of their singing? Their singing was such, if these munis, who even if they listen, because Kailas means a lot of Rishi munis will be there. Those munis who were sitting there, their dhyana bhanga happened. They were brought out of their meditation, listening to all those things. Another way to look at it is, everyone has purva samskaras. Right? Whatever our past is, nobody can say, I have no past. We are anadi jivas who have been born in so many bodies. And all those samskaras are stored in our Where is it stored? Is a question for Tattvabodha class students. Where are our karmas stored? So they are stored. And whenever appropriate triggers come, those samskaras get triggered. So this Rishi Munis, otherwise, they would not hear any of these songs and anything. But now these Gandharvas, when they start singing, he said, those samskaras are jagrat. That is why Sunata Shravana Chutahi Muni Dhyana. All their meditation and all, they come out of it. It is disturbed. पूछें तब सिव कहे हूँ बखानी पिता यज्ञ सुनी कछु हर्षानी. Satiji is now asking Lord Shiva, where are they going? You know, they look so delighted and they are dancing and singing. Where are they going? So Lord Shiva says, your father, Daksha Prajapati, has arranged one yajna. Jo mahesu mohi ayasu dehi kachu dena jai rahau misa ehi. He says, if you give me permission, Satiji is telling, I want to go because I feel so happy now that my father has arranged this yajna. And it is said, now I will summarize the rest of the dohas. It is said in her heart, she was having, that thought that Lord Shiva has now taken that decision. So at least for a few days, let me go and have some change. But now she says, if you give me permission, then only I will go. So Lord Shiva said, there is some history behind this. There was this Brahma Sabha that happened before. Although whatever you said, I very much liked it. But because there are some things that have happened in the past and we have not been invited on purpose, means Daksha Prajapati has invited all your sisters and he has not invited you because of that previous incident which happened with me. And if somebody has not invited us, we should not go. Okay, wherever our opinion is not appreciated or opinion is not asked for, there it is said we should not give. And wherever we are not invited, there we should not go. Why insist? If somebody is saying, we don't want you to come, what are we going to get by purposely going there? So now when Chaupai comes, that also is beautiful. 2 Chaupais before Doha 62. Jadapi mitra prabhu pitu guru geha, jaya binu bo lehu na sandeha. It is said 4 people's house you can go without invitation. Mitra, friend. Swami means master. Pitu, father. Guru, teacher. Although these 4 places we can go without any invitation, but for some reason, if something has happened in between and there is some objection to us going there, he said we should not go. Why? Because this advice is given to a sadhaka, that if you go there in spite of you knowing that they don't want you to come and there is some insult that happens over there, this sadhaka will not be able to bear that insult. Means our mind has not become that mature, you call, or that kind of toughness has not come with which we can go and face that situation. So best is stay away from it. In Mahatmas, it is very different. What is an example? You look at Bhagwan Shankaracharya ji. When Bhagwan Shankaracharya ji says, I have to go to Mandan Mishra to debate, he was not invited there. And it is said when Mandan Mishra sees Bhagwan Shankaracharya ji, he was doing some Shraddha Karma. And it is not considered auspicious to see a sannyasi at that time. That is what his belief was. And if you read the dialogue, right, the discussion, it is not at all, something that you will expect, whatever things that Mandan Mishra says. But Bhagwan Shankaracharya ji is a Siddha Purusha. His response, you should see the eloquence with which he responds to Mandana Mishra. And all we know what is the result of that. Mandana Mishra becomes his disciple. They end up having a debate. and then he becomes Sureshwaracharya ji. But that is for a Siddha Purusha. Their heart has become so much, expanded, you call, or that kind of ability is there in this sadhaka to take blows from the world. Not only take blows, but to change the other person. Right? Bhagavan Shankaracharya ends up changing Mandana Mishra ji. But over here, Sati ji is in the form of sadhaka. That is why Bhagavan Shiva is guiding her that if somebody has not called us, then we should not go there. Especially, when we go to a new place, it could be any social circle. When children, they go to universities, there is so much of peer pressure. Right? You might have certain interest, and then there is some group which has some other interest. And if they are doing some kind of thing together and they have not called us, then it is said, be happy wherever you are. Bhagavan has placed you in the right place, and purpose of life is not just to get crash into those things. So this guidance Bhagavan is giving to Sati ji. But now Vidhi is very different. No matter how many times Lord Shiva is trying to convince Sati ji, she still does not get convinced. Previously, she only asked for permission from Lord Shiva. Right? She said, if you give me permission, then I will go. Lord Shiva is saying, no, I don't want you to go. Please stay here. He says, no, I want to go. Okay, that is some kind of agraha. Okay? Insistence on doing what we feel is the way to do. So now what happens when she goes to Daksha's place? That we will see next time. There are some announcements, so please stay back. But those chaupais, whatever we saw in between, right? Those ones are meant for mananam. Okay, the one that we started with today, So Phalu Mohi Vidhata Dinha. Satiji says after 58th doha, that is one. Before 60th doha, Nahi ko asa janama jagamahi, that is the second one. Okay, like this, there are more that we will see whenever it comes. Aganita Gunagana Bhushana Rama, Ashrita Vatsala Jaya Jaya Rama, Ayodhyavasi Sita Rama, Apad Bandhava Jaya Jaya Rama, Dasharatha Nandana Shri Rama, Dashamukha Mardana Jaya Jaya Rama, Kausalya Sukhavardhana Rama, Kamita Phalada Jaya Jaya Rama, Papa Vimochana Shri Rama, Pattabhi Rama Jaya Jaya Rama, Janaki Vallabha Sita Rama, Jaya Raghu Rama, Jaya Sita Rama, Vanara Sevita Shri Rama, Varidhi Vandana Jaya Jaya Rama, Hanumat Pujita Sita Rama, Shri Ram Jaya Jaya Rama, Raghupati Raghava Raja Rama, Patita Pavana Sita Rama, Shri Ram Jaya Jaya Rama, Shri Ram Jaya Jaya Rama, Syavara Ramachandra ki Jai, Sadgurunath Maharaj ki Jai.